pop-up arena. The former Bunnings is where it's going to be very, very shortly. The 3-1 Caps against the 1-3 Flames. My name's Cam Luke. Tracy Browning joins me in commentary. And Tracy, what has already been a huge day. Big day continues to get bigger. And you see two teams, the Caps, who are getting better each and every game, and the Flames, who are continuing to improve and impress a lot of people around the league.
Yeah, that's right, Cam. I'm really looking forward to this game tonight. Look, it's been an incredible story for the Capitals. They started off with 3 players out injured in the first couple of games. They've been managing minutes, managing players. Sydney are right up there in the tussle for the 4th position for the finals. So this is going to be a great game. And
that is the big thing too. Like we speak about it. I actually did the opening game of the season where Adelaide were able to beat them in overtime, but they were oh so close to being 4-0. And you mentioned that injuries early, and of course when you're having the former league MVP miss the first couple, you expect some teething issues, but it hasn't really been an issue for this Caps team that are going for a historic three-peat.
They are going for a historic three-peat, and look, we've seen the emergence of Jade Melbourne. She's had a couple of 20-point games, and what a story she is. She's going to be a superstar of the future. Maddie Rocci stepped up as well. I think she's averaging 17 points a game. And Michaela Roof, she had a bit of an ankle problem earlier on, but she's past that now. So look, the Caps are tough. They go deep, and you know, they're well on track for a three-peat. Yeah,
you mentioned Madison Rocci there. We're going to talk a lot about over the course of the night, probably Jade Melbourne. But we'll start on Maddie Rocci because she was able to Queensland State League in the off-season, and it was splintered because of the coronavirus. But the fact is, she was able to take amazingly great form there into this season, and we mentioned a lot about the confidence these players have got coming in. She was like, okay, I've got to step up. We've got some injuries. We've got some players that aren't going to be here from last year's championship team, and now it's my time. And her start to the season has been brilliant. Yeah, and let's not forget that too. She's a WNBL Championship player.
Yes, she was part of that. She knows what it takes to get there. And yes, she's had a good season. But look, I'm expecting really big things from Maddie Rocci, and it's really great to watch this all unfold. A couple of games ago, we saw the duo of the backcourt battle between Melbourne and Rocci and Heel and Nicholson, and that was just a joy to watch.
It is, and if you look at the Sydney Uni Flames as well, Swagmeyer-Belcher, who's having an outstanding season as well, and in that loss to Townsville earlier this week, her 4th quarter was almost the one reason they were almost able to drag the win out of it. Her final quarter in that game against the Fire was brilliant, and her and Lauren Mansfield are a fairly decent backcourt to be able to get this team going.
That is a decent backcourt, and yeah, that last match from Alison Swagmeyer was just unbelievable. I think they were 8 down. She shot a couple of back-to-back threes. One of them was impossible. Went down and got the lead back to 2. They almost stole it. So yeah, I'm looking for another big game from her tonight.
Flames have been at different times up and down, but I think that's a little bit of when it comes to like the experience and getting to know each other as well. Maylee has been brilliant. Scherf, we know how talented she is, and when she gets on a roll, she's almost unstoppable. But we might just talk on Annalee Maylee in a little bit because you know, and I would have seen her play quite closely in the past, her tenacity and her intensity and the way she's able to, and this sounds like a negative connotation, I don't mean it that way, the way she's able to pick up the scraps and know where the ball is, in particular off the offensive glass as we see her there, it is brilliant and a huge reason why she gets the numbers she does.
Yeah, look, 99.9% of that is just natural desire, athleticism. She's also very good at getting herself in the right position to take those O-boards as well, but she's just got so much natural aggression, and her athleticism is amazing, and I'm really looking forward to watching her career unfold. She didn't get as many opportunities as she should have last season with the Flyers, so this year in a starting role and a little bit more a leadership role, she's relishing it. And
she's part of that crew from Southside last year, that team that obviously went to that championship series, who, as you mentioned, sought some more opportunities. She is one step Reed of the Townsville Fire, who's been really good as well, being able to put their hand up and say, look, I've got to go somewhere else. The team that I was in, very, very good. I'm going to go elsewhere, and they're playing particularly well. And Annalee Maylee's start to the year it's a credit to her in the best possible way.
Yeah, and you can never blame a player for wanting more opportunities. You know, that window, that playing window at the elite level is so small, and if you're sitting there and not getting an opportunity, then you do have to move, and nobody would begrudge her that at all, and it's paying off for her. Look at her, it's just fantastic to see.
Melbourne, Cabillo, Rocci, Tolo and Froling to start for the Caps. Burton, Scherf, Maylee, Swagmeyer-Belcher and Mansfield to start for the Flames. I hesitated for a split second because, look, to be fair, any single time you've got a player off the bench whose name is Kelsey Griffin, you must be thinking to yourself, you're the part of the Caps coaching staff, this is a very nice position I found myself in.
Absolutely, and I did speak to Paul Goris a couple of days ago, and he said he was still managing a couple of players, and Kelsey is one of them. And Mariana Tolo is still being managed a little bit as well, even though we see her starting tonight. So, yeah, look, they'll have plenty of firepower come the back end of the season. Don't worry about that.
And we're underway. Game 2, the Chemist Warehouse. Game 3, rather. Game 2 from the Cairns Pop-Up Arena, the Chemist Warehouse WNBL triple header tonight. Here is Rochi. That great start to the year. Scherf gets a hand in. We're going to push the other way through Mansfield. Great pass. There's Maley. We spoke about her ability to find herself in the right position at the right time. Perfect example there. The Flames want to run in semi-transition, earns herself, and the Flames a couple of foul shots.
Yeah, great offensive transition there. Great running of the lanes by Maley. Great little pass by Mansfield and draws a foul.
First is down. And Lee Maley is able to open the account here Saturday night, Cairns Pop-Up Arena, Chemist Warehouse WNBL season. Jade Melbourne has spoken so much and will over the course of the night. Cabillo, guarded by Mansfield. Shot clock's down to 8. Melbourne's got to get to work on Maley. Little spin, uses the left, no good. Maley with her first board. And now she wants to try and push, but Melbourne to the task. Did it illegally.
Neither player gave up then. Like, Annalie Maley kept on after that ball, even though she lost control of it, and just drew that foul there from Jade Melbourne.
Mansfield guarded by Cabillo. Early doors, third of the triple header. The 1 and 3 Flames, the 3 and 1 Caps. Mansfield. 10 on the shot clock. Swagmeyer Belger inside to Burton. Great defense. Great defense. Froling is able to pick up the loose ball, and now they'll run through Rochi. Tolo faces up from 15 foot, drops it inside to Rochi.
Oh,
He's been pinged for the travel. She tried to find an avenue to the basket. She disagrees.
A little bit unlucky there. Probably just moved that pivot foot at the last second.
Maley guarded by Melbourne. Swagmeyer Belger inside. Goes away from the baseline on the left. Rochi.
Oh,
Good
great
D.
board.
Burton with the rebound. Kicks it outside. Swagmeyer Belger off the rim. We've seen the Flyers win comfortably in the previous game. A lot of that off offensive rebounds and second chance points. And Froling. This is the first, gave herself a chance, also missed the second. Sorry, Charlie.
No. That's a great look there by Tolo. Just couldn't get those 2 shots to drop there, Froling. Probably should have made the second one.
Off the Mansfield turnover, there's Melbourne the other way. She can't make it finish. Maley with her 3rd rebound. And a scrappy start. Mansfield the other way. Swagmeyer Belger just hands it off to Scherf. And that's how you finish a layup. The first 4 points of the game for the Flames.
And that's great. Everybody getting involved right at the start. Maley grabbing a few boards. Swagmeyer making a few moves to the hoop, and then Scherf with the easy layup.
Cabillo couldn't finish it. Tolo will keep it alive. She will. Already 4 offensive rebounds for the Caps. Gives them another opportunity with the shot clock now to 10. There's Rochi. Her 2nd turnover of the night. Scherf again with the quick hands. Here's Mansfield. Trailer was Burton. Wasn't ready for it.
A little bit scrappy here at the start. A couple of turnovers from both teams.
A little bit might be the understatement of the night, Trace, but I'm with you. 2 quality outfits feeling themselves out. There's Tolo. Little glad wrap on the rim early for the Caps, which will go to the foul line to try and kickstart their scoring for the night.
That was a good little move there to get herself open for the reverse layup. Little tap on the arm there by Scherf, not much in that.
Her first of the night. Something you don't see is Tapia is on, as is Kelsey Griffin. Something you don't see too much from Tolo at the foul line. The no dribble. Just a catch and shoot foul shot. Very rare in basketball today.
It is very rare.
It works for her though. Not on that occasion, but traditionally there's Swagmo Belger. Mansfield so crafty. This time using the non-preferred, couldn't finish it. Was Swagmo Belger. Now we're going to push the other way through Griffin. Des Melbourne kicks it out. Rochi turned down the first one for a better from the 15-foot off the dribble. That's no good.
There was good play there by the Cats. Got the right shot, couldn't get it to drop.
Maley couldn't finish. Scherf does. She's got 4. First 6 shots for the Caps from the field, all unsuccessful.
Scherf had a bit of a breakout game for this season last week. She had 25 points and was just outstanding. Let's hope we see that again tonight.
Tapaya. Griffin, 3. We're right behind her, Tracy. That never looked like missing. Dribble penetration, draw to defence, kicks it out to the former MVP. She finds bottom of the net. Welcome to the game, Kelsey Griffin, and shouldn't be surprised that the game was a little scrappy until she gets her hand on the ball and ends in a 3. Mainly at the other end off the dribble curl screen. She's able to catch and shoot. She's had a nice start as well. She's up to 4, and it's a 4-point lead for the Flames.
Mainly getting into it at both ends of the floor first up is fantastic.
Tapaya, great pass. Rochi, 3. Down it goes, and that continues the great start to this season for Madison Rochi. She knocks her first 3-pointer down, and the lead is back to 1.
And I think we'll see a pretty good game from Tapaya tonight. She's fit and ready to go. And out of the 3 players that were injured at the start of the season, she's back, fully fit, ready to rock and roll.
Great look, Burton in to Swagmo Belju, had Rochi deep. Just couldn't make it work for a 3-point play, so she'll go to the foul line for a couple of freebies. First one is good.
She's got such good strength when she gets down there in the low block or just under the hoop. Really hard to stop.
A little bit of extended pressure. Rochi turns it over. 3 turnovers early for Madison Rochi, and some pressure off the made foul shots leads to that. Griffin just might have had hold of the wrist as we have a look at this.
Yeah.
Just being the operative word. Foul's a foul.
Maybe a little hand in the back as well. Not a lot in that, but enough for the referee to call it.
Kelsey Griffin picks up her first. Here's Swagmo Belger. Got nowhere to go. Great help by Jade Melbourne. Shot clock's down to 7. Now Mansfield's going to have to get to work. Gets Griffin on the crossover. Uses the right hand. And is able to trickle it in as the shot clock got to 1.
Great work there by Lauren Mansfield.
Tolo thought about the 3. Took a dribble in. Rimmed out. Scherf with the rebound. She's got 2 early. Swagmo Belger feeling confident. Now wants to attack Tapaya. Uses the right hand, which is the non-preferred. Hard off the backboard. Tapaya with the rebound. And then it's going to go to the races through Jade Melbourne, who uses that left hand brilliantly for her first points of the night.
And that was a fantastic outlet pass there by Tapaya.
Sure. Fronts up, 17-footers, no good. Chases her own rebound, but Rochi just beat it to it and wrestled it away. Now she runs right at Mansfield, who picked where she was going to go. It's a good avail as that comes off the iron.
There was a great drive there by Rochi. She just couldn't get that to drop at the last minute.
Neither could Mansfield there, but she's earned herself a couple of foul shots.
Mansfield's an important player for this Sydney Flames team. She's averaging 13 points a game, and 13 points and 2 rebounds a game, and she really needs to up her scoring power.
First is good. No sweeter sound than the one we just heard there, Trace.
Yeah, it's good to hear the sounds of the game, isn't it?
We hear it twice there as Lauren Mansfield makes both. 5-point lead for the Flames. It was a Townsville Fire in the first of our triple header who overcame a double-digit deficit to win by 10. And same with the Flyers, who were down by 10 in the first quarter to the Lynx. So they win, paced by Liz Gambage's 21 to a 46-point win. As the Flames again want to run, this time Mansfield into Scherf. Thought she was going to turn into that double team as Ruth come over. She didn't. She just powered up straight over the baseline. The lead is 7. She's got 6.
Scherf's feeling confident out there. Probably carried over from the last game. Top scoring, led all scorers. And she's going to take these on tonight.
Here's Ruth, the silky left-hander. Wasn't quite aware that Maley was going to come and just pick her pocket, which she did. Maley having a great start to this game. Four turnovers early for the Caps, though. Scherf inside on Griffin. Can't finish it. Maley again, just wanted it more. 4 rebounds early. Her second offensive, and Tracy Browning, who spoke about how badly she wants it. Sheer will. And there it was again.
Yep, that is pure desperation. And again, she came from the weak side, the other side of the key. She anticipated that beautifully. Misses that first one.
Second one is nice. She's got 5 on the night. As the Flames have been the aggressor here at the Cairns Pop-Up Arena. Britt Smart into the game for her first minutes. Here she is. Griffin to Payer. Want to attack this zone. Now it's Smart for 3. That's short. Maley with another rebound. That's number 5 for her. Nagasoglu in as well, having a very nice start to her season. Scherf, what a pass! Great pass. Gave a little eyebrow look to Carly Boak. She was able to pick up on it, went back door. Great catch, great pass, great bucket. The lead is 10. Here's Melbourne.
Oh, that's just beautifully finessed to finish off that layup.
Scherf tries it again. This time it's Maley who had to make the tough catch. Couldn't quite with the off-balance 1 foot, 4 footer finish it, and the Caps will try and cut into this lead. Handoff no good. Maley wanted it more. Melbourne over the top. Referees look to see how they will adjudicate this.
I think we're going to see a lot of Annalee Maley diving on the floor tonight. Look at that. What a fierce competitor she is.
The hand in by Nagasoglu there was able to just spring the ball free. And that'll be on Jade Melbourne. That'll be her first of the night. Second, my apologies. And it leads Annalee Maley to the foul line. First is good.
And the second is good. What a great start there by Annalee Maley. She's come in and worked extremely hard at both ends of the floor. The coach would be very happy with her right now.
No doubt, great start for her. 5 points, 6 rebounds. Here's Smart against this zone of the Flames. Roof to Payer, 3, off. Griffin did well to keep it alive, straight into Payer's hand. Little quick release, left-hand layup was no good. Nagasoglu had it for a second. It just bounced on the end line. It'll stay.
That's great aggression there and great second effort by Kelsey Griffin. Tried to get the ball to tap out from the opposition, but Tapia grabbed it. He gave her the second chance.
Smart inside from Cabillo. Everyone's a little bit confused, and that is myself included. But it will stay with the Caps. They trail by 10 into the last minute of this first quarter. Burton in, Scherf will take a break. Scherf with a great first quarter so far. 6 points, 3 rebounds. Here's Griffin, catch and shoot, and couldn't get the little friendly shooter roll. Bo taps it out.
You see Kira Rowe come in for the first time tonight, and we were saying just before that she hasn't seen a lot of court time so far this season, so hopefully she'll get a good run at it tonight.
Negasoglu goes away from the Bogue screen. Tapia just gets the hand in, a little bit of bump, and will send Negasoglu to the foul line as they continue to be able to get there with them being in the bonus. And 9 of 10 in the first quarter from the foul line already, with their 11th and 12th to come now. So some free points and some frustration from the Caps coaching staff, because the Flames have been able to be the aggressor, and that has led to bonus foul shots in a lot of this first quarter.
Yeah, and usually it's the Capitals that are the aggressor. They're renowned for their aggression and their fire, and it's the Flames have turned the table on them in this first quarter.
And they're making them pay as well. 11 of 12 from the line. Negasoglu gets a hand. Another turnover from the Caps. That's 6 in the first quarter, well and truly too high. And the shot clock is off. Swagmire Belger going to try and extend what is a 12-point lead. Negasoglu down the 6 and 5. Takes Cabillo on. Bo with the eyebrow raise straight through Negasoglu. That's a charge.
And I think copped an elbow in the face.
We have a look at it, turned it down, and oh!
Yep. And that's pretty gutsy of Cabillo to put her body on the line like that. Carly Bogue's twice her size.
Takes a seat, might be a little blood nose. We'll keep an eye on that, but
she'll be right.
Great job to come across him. It was a bit watering. Last second, Hirochi didn't get the shot off. Still said there was half a second left. The siren went for about, buzzer went for about 5 seconds, but in the end, it does end what's been a very highly entertaining first quarter at the Cairns pop-up arena. I think Liam Santamaria, who's part of the commentary, he wants to call it the snag pit. Not sure it's quite caught on just yet, but it is the Sydney Uni Flames 12. The Caps 11. Annalie Maley was 7 and 5 rebounds in the first quarter. Jade Melbourne has 4 for the Caps. Lauren Scherf 6 for the Flames as well. What'd you make of the first 10 minutes?
Well, Sydney came out very aggressively on defence in that first sort of 5 to 6 minutes and caused some turnovers for the Caps. And they were also aggressive on the offensive end, at the offensive boards, especially Annalie Maley. So she's had a fantastic start. Katrina Hibbert would be very pleased with that first quarter and would be wanting more of the same. For the Caps, on the other hand, perhaps they need to, I think they looked a little bit sloppy at times on offence, and maybe they need to get their offensive sets going, run through a few more pairs of hands. And of course, you know, Griffin's sort of working her way back into the lineup, so we'll probably see some more minutes from her in the second quarter.
Come straight in and hit a 3 straight away as well, so they continually work at it. We see just in the bottom of your frame there, Abby Cabillo, maybe with the blood nose.
Looks like she's heading back out there though. Oh no, she isn't.
Rowe, Negasoglu, Bogue. That's Carly, Burton, and Swegmeyer Belger for the Flames. And they lead by 12 as we get ready to start this second quarter. Chemist Warehouse 2020 WNBL season. What a start it has been. The continuing of week 2. Big game tomorrow, the Boomers and the Fire to go at it.
All right, I think we can expect to see some physicality now from the Caps after that first quarter.
And there's an offensive foul. Bogue was able to just get Rochi illegally. She was trying to follow Negasoglu off that staggered screen. Pulls up a little shaky, but when you cop one like that, Trace, it always helps when you get the ball.
Yeah,
so I think she'll
certainly
be fine.
does.
She'll
forget all about that now.
To pay, here is Rochi. What a great start to the season she is having. Griffin on Bogue, just able to use that experience and the creativity. Little 4-foot floater was no good.
We would usually see Kelsey Griffin make those shots, and I'm sure once she plays herself into the game, and she'll get a lot more of those on the scoreboard.
Bogue, idea was great, trying to find Rowe in the back door, but Tolo is well and truly awake to those type of moves. Great defense is Rochi. Off the Tolo screen, gets into the key, kick out, smart, in front of the bench. Then we're up. The moment it left her hand, she finds bottom of the net. First score of the second quarter goes to the Caps. That lead is back to 9 as Britt Smart has her first points of the night.
And that's her shot from there, Britt Smart. She makes those on a continual basis, so we'll probably see a lot more of that from her tonight as well.
Negasoglu no good. Griffin gets her 4th rebound of the night. Oh, kept alive by Bogue. It's going to be in the end, to no reward.
Great hustle there by Bogue. Almost came up with it.
Predicted brilliantly where Griffin was going to go.
Just the aggression and the desperation all these girls in all of the teams are playing with is just incredible. After, game after game, a couple of back-to-backs, and they're still going at it like it's their first game. It's just great.
Took a little while to get it in. Had to get it over because the 8-second count was almost up. They do. Froling lobs it into Tolo. Underneath the bucket. Great D by Burton, but not enough. Tolo gets her 3rd points of the night. The first 5 of the second quarter all belong to the Capitals. Swegmeyer Belger trying to change that. Double team by Tolo is brilliantly. Jump ball. I won't go on about it now, Tracy, but I think we should abolish the jump ball, possession arrow, and have a jump ball. But
yeah, no, look, I've been of that opinion for quite some time.
In professional ranks, juniors, I totally understand.
Yep.
Froling, guarded by Maley, 2 very famous names in the world of basketball in this country. This time it's Froling who gets all the way to the bucket, lays it in. And the first 7 points of the second quarter have come from the Caps in just over 2 minutes of play. Karen Dalton wants to chat about it as well because that Flames lead, which was very nice, sizable, of 12 points at quarter time, has now been cut back to 5.
Yeah, look, Caps came out in that last couple of minutes. Paul Goris would have been much happier with their effort. And I think you might mean Katrina Hibbert would want to talk about it, not Karen Dalton.
I agree. I apologise. I knew when I was saying it, I thought, I think I've got the wrong name. My apologies.
Oh, it's all right. I called Shyla Hill Shane Hill the other night, so it's all good.
Basketball royalty either way, Tracy.
Yeah,
every
correct.
name I say. Let's have a listen in with the Caps.
Okay, Sol over here. Kelsey, Rocky, Griff. Pass it, get through Rock. Okay, now Kelsey, hold on to it. Healy, you go and try and screen, but I want you to screen and feel and post up Maley. So it's good, mate.
Paul Goris just saying there that he'd like his team to run through their offensive sets, get some good screens happening, get some rolls to the basket.
Has been a fairly scrappy start to the game. Both teams have found momentum at different points. Very polar opposites to the last game, where both teams shot particularly well early. Only 35% from the Caps from the field, 37% from the Flames on the three-point line. 3 of 5 from the Caps. Flames yet to hit one, so much different start to what we've seen in the first game at Cairns, where in the end it was the Flyers by 46. There's Maley's shot clock was almost down. In the end, just grazed the front of the rim. It was enough for Lauren Scherf to get the rebound and put it back. She's got 4 rebounds and 8 points at their first basket of the second quarter.
Loving Lauren Scherf's game at the moment. She's still developing. She's still only 24, but she's hopefully going to have a breakout season.
What a pass by Britt Smart to Griffin. Able to thread it with the bounce pass, hit it with the momentum, lays it in. And that's exactly what the Caps coaching staff wanted, Trace. Wanted to run their stuff, and they were able to get through it there for an easy layup.
Yeah, it's exactly what Paul Goris was talking about in that last time out.
Must be a good feeling when you have a timeout and call a play and it's run to perfection.
Yeah, it would be a great feeling. I don't know how often it happens, but it happened that time, so.
His Scherf just faces up on Tolo, can't hit the little mid-ranger. They keep it alive, and it leads to a Swagmeyer-Belger 3. It finds the bottom of the net. The lead is back to 8. Burton snaffled her second offensive board. She gets the assist. Swagmeyer-Belger, she's up to 5.
She's such an exciting player to watch. If she's not penetrating the key and getting in the open bucket, she's shooting the 3.
Rolling the other way is going to do it the old-fashioned, slightly harder way to take some contact, but on the verge of 3 points, and nonetheless, great pass from Griffin. Froling was able to take it right at Maley.
And that's a trademark Froling spin move and little hooky, high up, soft on the right-hand corner of the key, of the basket, sorry.
Froling v Maley, another 2 names that at a lot of time in basketball Australia went at each other.
Yeah, that was another generation ago.
Was.
But it's great to see that it's second generation coming through.
Great hands by Britt Smart. Burton has to recover in the backcourt. And now the shot clock is down to 5. Lauren Mansfield has to get into it quickly. Great D by Roche. Little fadeaway though. Is almost, in fact, I will say it was unguardable. She's got 6. And Roche right back at her. A little Euro step floater is just as pretty.
Well, and it was a beautiful shot by Mansfield down the other end, and then Roche says, hey, I can do that too.
Mansfield can't respond with the 3. Griffin with the rebound. That'll be rebound number 5. Now it's Roche going downhill, right at Scherf, takes the bump, that'll count! 4 straight from Roche, going to try and make it 5, and the Caps are right back in this game. The lead is back to 3.
Paul Goris would be so happy with the way they're playing. It's starting to get into a little bit of a run and gun now. Up and down, both teams scoring.
Which is what we want to see, Trace. We like to see them up and down, off the rim, out the net. Semi-transition, full transition basketball. Madison Roche's able to finish the 3-point play. She's up to 8. And that lead, which was 12, is now back to 2. Pressure up the floor again. Flames have had a little bit of trouble in this quarter being able to get into their stuff in time, so the full court pressure has been helping. And again, we're down to 10 seconds. Here's Mansfield, step back. That is beautiful. Nothing but net. Sized up Froling and said, I don't think you can guard me. And she proved it in that occasion. She's got 8.
Yeah, she's really feeling it out there, Mansfield, and she should keep going at it. She's got the hot hand.
Froling at the other end, does what she does, just comes off the iron. Tolo kept it alive. Froling was able to run it down. For a split second, it looked like the Caps were going to get another opportunity, but Tapia might have just had the shoelace on the sideline, and it'll be a turnover. Something the Caps have done now 9 times in the first quarter and a half. Bogue. Maley. Now the Scherf. Tolo gets a hand and forces her further away from the basket. So now she has to front up and use the dribble. And it played right into Tolo's hands, both figuratively and literally, with a big block by the superstar.
That's a pretty physical contest down low there between Scherf and Tolo. Tolo got the better of it that time.
Swagmire Belger. There's the curl screen from Maley. Gets wide open just inside the three-point line. Scherf. Volleyballed it. Maley. Usual stuff. And again, they get another 14 seconds on the shot clock here, the Flames. Another look at it. Swagmire Belger. She couldn't finish it. Bogue. It's going to come off the foot of Froling, but it didn't hit the rim on the Swagmire Belger shot. So the shot clock didn't reset, which means they've only got 1.7 from the baseline to be able to do something with it here.
And again, we saw the absolute aggression of Annalee Maley on the offensive board, coming up with that extra possession.
Looking, throwing. Little half jump hook, skyhook. I don't even know what to call that. I just call it 2 points because that's what it was.
It was a bit of a skyhook, wasn't it? They will take it.
Highly entertaining game. The third of our Chemist Warehouse WNBL triple headers. Tapei gets the bump from Maley. Suggested she might have been a slight little flop. I think it was...
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Just Tapei, that first step was just a little bit too quick on that occasion there for Maley. It's the right call.
Now Maley with 2 will take his seat. One Bogue takes a seat, another one comes on, as does Rowe. Here's Tapei. Rochi. Froling. Couldn't quite finish it. Follows her own work. She's having a very nice night, Froling. She's got 7 to go with 4 rebounds.
And that's the thing about Froling, like her second effort is just excellent. If she misses that first one, then there's a 90% chance she's going to get her own rebound and make a second one.
Reach in there from Tapei.
Really looking forward to seeing the rest of the season unfold for Talia Tapei. She's such an explosive, exciting player, brings a physicality to the game. We see her just substitute there, but when the rest of the season unfolds, I think she's going to play a big part in it.
And that's something as well that we've spoken about a fair bit. I know it feels like when you look at the games and the win-loss records that this season's been going on for a little while. We're only 10 days into this thing. And the very fact is, you know, you talk about the Caps. Tapei was one of those players who missed time early in the year, along with Kelsey Griffin as well. So the Caps are still trying to build their way into it. The chemistry, the way that 2020 has been. We do make a big point of the fact that practice pre-season wasn't anywhere near as lengthy as traditionally would be. So you got to try and almost learn on the fly in some certain aspects. And I guess when you miss a couple of games through injury, that's one that gets complicated as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure the Caps are still figuring out their roster, their rotations as well with the injuries they've had. But, you know, come the pointy end of the season, they're going to be there and they're going to be tough.
Hard to argue that point. Jade Melbourne comes back in for Tapei. We haven't seen Abby Cabillo back after she took the knock to the nose, so we'll keep an eye on that. Again, the shot clock is down to very close to 0, and Swagmire Belger had to force it. Oh, the fake behind the back pass, and Scherf missed it.
Oh, that would have been beautiful had that shot gone in.
Might have just cost again. I think it was Moncondi's pass. Here is Mansfield. Finds Bogue. She's able to be aggressive off the three-point line and miss the gimme. Rochi going the other way. And Monconti in the previous game that threw a nice pass, but it was Blitzarves who missed that. Mansfield to Scherf. And after all this scrappiness, it leads to a wide-open Tolo layup. Couple of opportunities, I think, missed for our top 10 players of the week there, all thanks to Chemist Warehouse, Tracy, because that was very nice from Lauren Mansfield.
It was, and I think we might see that Sydney Flames had some issues the other night. They missed a lot of easy shots under the bucket, and that's starting to creep in a little bit, we see here. So hopefully they can adjust and address that.
Griffin to Tolo. A sequence we have watched and commentated and spoken about and heaped praise on many a time, and we saw it there again, and we'll continue to see this Caps team, as you touched on, they're going to be very good. You expect to be there when the whips are cracking.
Well, Cam, they're going for a three-peat. You know, their eyes are on the prize, they're focused, that's what they're after, that's what they're here for. Everyone's here to win, but, you know, I know the Caps, that's what they want, and they're going to go after it.
Been more than 20 years since it's happened in the WNBL.
Yeah, Adelaide Lightning was the last time. So yeah, it's a long time ago, and I just know that that's what they're focused on. So they'll be there, like we said.
Historic to be able to win one, to go back to back is extremely hard. Three-peat, you are talking one of the great teams of all time, and this Canberra Capitals team, it's going to take a very, very brave person to suggest they can't do it.
Can I mention perhaps 30 years ago that the only team that have ever won 4 in a row are the Nunawading Spectres?
Yeah.
I thought I'd just throw that in.
You should throw it in.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
So that hasn't been done again yet, so who knows, maybe the Caps can get that done.
Do you reckon you would have won 5 in a row had they had more games and less practice?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
See, I'm not even going to say, there's no adjective for what 4 is. Because, you know,
4
3 is amazing. Yeah, I know, but it's just remarkably nuts in any level. Here is Mansfield. The 3 over Rochi. That's no good. Griffin with the rebound. That's her 6. Now they're going to run. This is what she can do. Take it off the rim and run, but pulls it up and gives it to Rochi. Little 2-man game here, working to perfection. Rochi to Griffin. She couldn't finish it. Draws the foul though, so she'll go to the line for a couple to try and tie it up.
And this is what Rochi's so good at, is finding that open man inside there, creating some space. Griffin gets herself to the line.
Wonderful player, superstar of this league. First one's long.
And not only is she a superstar, she's just a quality person, and I think every organisation that's been lucky enough to have Kelsey Griffin playing for them was just, you know, it's just, she's incredible.
Misses both there, so keeps a couple on the line. Here's Mansfield having a nice night. This time for 3. Rochi gave her that little bit of space she needed. She's up to 11 into double figures. And that lead is back to 5. They've answered this challenge nicely, have the Flames. Griffin. Tolo. Tried to work her way under. Couldn't finish it. Then gets a hand on the Bogue rebound. Knocks it out of court.
That was a good D there by Bogue. She stood her ground, had her hands straight up in the air, and Tolo really had nowhere to go.
Great first half. Chemist Warehouse WNBL season, round 2. Here's Mansfield. But top of the gear, guarded by Rochi. Now Mansfield's got Tolo in a little mismatch here. They exploit it.
Yep.
She does. By giving it to Burton, who had Rochi sealed. It leads to a layup, and the lead is 7. And this has been an impressive little period here by the Flames, who were challenged, but have scored the last 5 points.
Yeah, great play there to recognise the mismatch inside on Burton. Katrina Hibbert would be very pleased right now with the way her team's playing and executing.
See if we can try and get in.
From what the little I could hear of that, I think Katrina Hibbert was saying there they want to get their inside-outside game happening. And she was pretty pleased with the last couple of times down the court when they've been able to find that open man inside.
Good news there is Ruth comes in, as does Abby Cabillo as well. So a little bit of the blood in the nose been able to be cleared away after she took the charge right before the end of the first quarter. So she's back on. Great to see.
Yeah, that was a heavy knock. So she probably needed a few minutes just to compose herself.
It's fair enough too. I would have been asleep to be fair. So here she is, straight into the action. Running point for the Caps team who trail by 7. Here's Ruth, top of the key.
Oh, great pass.
Wait,
just didn't come off.
Quite get there. Looked like it came off the Flames. Referee disagrees. It did. Came off the hand of Nat Burton. Have a little quick chat about this, and I dare say the Caps will get it from the baseline.
Yep, right call.
Melbourne. Ruth, shot clock, got to get it up, knows it, doesn't hit the rim. That's a 24-second shot clock violation and great defense by the Flames.
Yeah, Katrina Hibbert will be pretty happy with that. Aggressive defence is what can win games, and then the offence flows from that, as we're seeing right now.
Mansfield, cut off by Melbourne, so she just goes away from the defence, rattled it out. Got a very nice look, couldn't quite make it stick. Melbourne, what a pass, inside to Ruth. Great defence by the Flames and the help.
It was Kira Rowe on the help defence there. Great job, Kira.
Negasoglu down the other end, kicks it out. Oh, Rowe. Bogue was pushed. So we have a look at this first. So the great pass by Melbourne to Rowe, and the great roll up to the task was Kira Rowe.
And it's good to see Rowe out there being a part of the action, as we were saying before. She's had limited minutes so far this season, but everybody's going to have to be a part of the rotations as this wears on.
Mansfield. No 2 for 1 for the Flames. Shot clock's down to 6. Mansfield on Griffin again. This time she finds Bow, ends up in the hands of Burton. She couldn't finish it. Griffin snatches what is her 7th board.
That was the right shot though, Burton. She just couldn't make that drop.
Cabillo. Last shot. Ruth. Lefty. 3. No good. Great defense again by the Flames, and it's helped them to a 7-point lead. They were challenged.
They were.
The lead was back to 2, but the last 5 points of the first half belong to the Sydney Flames, and they lead by 7, 39-32. And it has been an entertaining first 20 minutes at the Cairns Pop-Up Arena. The Sydney Uni Flames have been outstanding. 20 minutes in the books as they try to win their second game of the Chemist Warehouse WNBL season. Thanks to Chemist Warehouse. Welcome. It's the halftime show, which we took a long time to work out what we should call this, Tracy. We just settled on the halftime show. So welcome to you wherever you might be right around Australia. It is a nice game we've got. It was a 12-point lead at quarter time for the Flames, and it currently is at 7. The last 5 points of the second quarter did belong to the Sydney Uni Flames, and right now, after 20 minutes in the books, it is very entertaining. It is very entertaining, and Sydney Flames came out very aggressively in that first quarter, and Annalie Maley in particular on offensive boards, and she got on the score sheet as well. And the Caps managed to peg that lead back a little bit, but Sydney Flames managed to withstand that and have showed that they're right in this game, and they're right in the fight for, you know, that 4th final spot. You spoke about the intensity at which Annalie Maley plays with. We're going to get to her in a little bit. She's got 7 points and 6 rebounds in the first half. Lauren Mansfield leads all scorers with 11. She's been brilliant. Madison Rocci has 8 in the Battle of the Guards, which has been very fun to watch as well at the halftime. We check out the Chemist Warehouse first half highlights, and Kelsey Griffin straight in, and it was a scrappy start for the Caps. She comes off the bench and is able to do what she does. And they were able to get some really good looks at different times for Caps, but this woman, Lauren Mansfield, in total control, be it doing it on herself, as I said, 11 points, but also the 2 assists. But their ability to scrap the game out, Jade. Melbourne hasn't quite had the impact yet, being hampered a little bit with foul trouble. She has 4 points. But look at them running, and it's been a huge reason as to why they're being able to get points in transition like that.
Yeah, and I think the Flames have been able to sort of push the Caps out of their normal offensive set, and their aggressive defence has actually helped flow the offence down the other end. And we all know that offence flows naturally out of good defence. And yeah, look, hats off to the Flames. They've had a great half.
Jade Melbourne, so smooth, so fun to watch her play. Madison Rochi, Britt Smart came straight on, was able to hit that 3 in front of the bench. And it was this point that we thought the Caps were getting the momentum that we kind of expected them to get earlier in the game. But when Tolo hits that and it was back to a 2-point game, Froling was able to take it right at Nat Burton and get the layup. We thought that the Caps would use that momentum, but the Flames, by junking up defence, as Griffin's able to go back door on a great pass. And these type of opportunities, second chance points that led to more and more points, is a huge reason as to why they're able to stem the bleeding. As Rochi just goes straight. She's been so fun to watch to start this, Madison Rochi.
Beautiful to watch.
And then at the other end, it was Lauren Mansfield saying, all right, you want to try and stand up, and then there was this. Well, I still can't describe exactly what that is. A half jump hook, sky hook, shot clock's running out. Either way, it worked. And then when you just go a little bit under the screen there, Lauren Mansfield's going to make you pay. And then here was the mismatch, I think. She was able to see it with Burton on Rochi, a little bit of a seal, and it all adds up to a 7-point lead. Take us through the stats, Trace. Anything stand out for you?
Well, it looks pretty even at the moment. Pretty even on the rebounds, only a few the difference. Caps have got a few more turnovers, and that's because of the Flames' sort of aggressive defence. Look, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Sydney this half. I expected that the Caps might come back and sort of maybe run all over them a little bit in that second quarter, but they've withstood the pressure and they've applied the pressure themselves. 11 of 12 from the foul line to the Flames. We spoke about how aggressive they came out and how confident they took it to the bucket. Got foul trouble early for the Caps. They didn't shoot any foul shots in the second quarter. Remarkably, all 12 of those attempts were in the first 10 minutes, but they have been able to make them pay as well. Turnovers hurting the Caps, 11. 4 of those in the first 2.5 minutes of the game, where the game was incredibly scrappy. And we talk about easing some players in. They've got a different starting five. We assume at some point Kelsey Griffin will be starting. So they're trying to work their way through it. And the scrappiness showed yesterday, and the Flames were able to take full advantage of it and have a 7-point lead. Yeah, well, look, Katrina Hibbert would be absolutely wrapped with that half. And you know, I know they would have spoken about it before the game. They would have said, look, the Caps are still getting into their rotations. They're still getting used to certain starting fives, changing a bit through their injuries. So she'd be really happy that they've harassed them out of their game, and you know, and they've scored down the other end and been fantastic. All right,
Annalee Maley, we touched on her pre-game. Intensity, tenacity, her ability to know where the ball is. She's got 7 points and 6 rebounds, and this is how the game started. Just running and just taking a nice dime from Lauren Mansfield. Their ability to be able to work off the ball is a big reason as to why she finds herself in good offensive spots, and defensively she's just so smart.
Yeah, look, I think if you're going to be in the trenches, you'd want Annalee Maley right in there with you. Like, her desire is just incredible, and her athleticism is just incredible as well. And what can you say about her? She just gives 110% every time she's on the floor, after every possession. She's just a machine.
Averaged 15 rebounds a game last year in the NBL 1 competition. That was in 2019, obviously. So someone of her size to be able to continually hit the glass as she does. She's got 6 rebounds tonight. She's had double-doubles already to kickstart this Chemist Warehouse WNBL season. So her ability to, one, be able to find the ball in the right place, but also it's contagious. Her intensity, her want, her will. And that's a big reason as to why they feed off that, the Sydney Uni Flames, and I think that's a huge part of why, when they're running up and about, they're so fun to watch, and when they can get wins on the board. Yeah, that's right. And Annalee Maley reminds me a little bit of that. They're different players, but that enthusiasm and that passion and that rubs off on everybody else. Like Beck Cole, she's the same. That, you know, that tenacity and hardness at the ball, and you know. And it can't help but rub off on your teammates. And sometimes it only takes a moment. It's only like, and we see Annalee a couple of times in those highlights, who want and willingness to get on the ground. It only takes one of those 2 moments to be able to lift not just the players on the court, but your bench, and all of a sudden it goes from 0 to 100 in no time, and it changes the game. Yeah.
I'm also loving Lauren Mansfield affecting the scoreboard tonight too. Like, she's a really quality player, and she's had a couple of quiet games early on, so it's just great to see her on the scoreboard.
She's a veteran point guard, of course, has played for the country. Let's have a look at the Sydney Uni Flames in their next couple of games. I'm not even going to pretend like I know what rounds these are because, look, we're just watching games and we see from we go there. We've got the Lynx, of course, who coming off a pretty tough loss tonight, 46-point loss, so they play on Monday night. The Lightning, who, well, to be fair, they'll probably just be happy out of a hotel room, so they'll be nice and fresh. And then, of course, the Fire, who had a really good win tonight. Lauren Nicholson in the first half was brilliant. Shyla Hill in the third quarter was huge. And then, of course, the Boomers, who are one of those highly rated teams. So a big weekend a little bit for the Sydney Uni Flames.
Yeah, look, those 4 games that we just saw on the screen, like, they're all winnable games for either team. And I think anyone can beat anybody on any given day, considering, you know, injury factors, player management. So it's an exciting couple of rounds coming up.
Now, we have a look at the Caps as well. The Snag Pit will be sizzling on Monday night. Big shout out to Liam Santamarie. He wants the Snag Pit to take off. And to be fair, it's an old bunning, so it does make sense. The Flyers and the Caps. 4-1 the Flyers now. The Caps, of course, 3-1, but in a dogfight right now. Then the Lynx on Thursday. The Spirit, who were really good. They were great in that first half this afternoon in the first of our triple header before Townsville were able to get hold of them. And then the Caps and the Boomers, which is a rematch of last year's semi-final series. So
semi-final? Oh, sorry, semi-final.
No, semi-final series. So
I'm thinking Southside and Caps is the grand final replay.
There you go. Probably should have mentioned that in the first. I apologise. There you go, Tracy.
Yeah.
There you go. A rematch of last year's grand final on Monday night, and can't wait to see that one.
Yeah, that'll be great. And look, everybody's looking forward to that, I think. And no more than the Flyers. Like, they want to go one better this season if they absolutely can. And I know that's the goal. The team have spoken about it. I know that's the goal for Cheryl Chambers. So yeah, that's going to be a great game.
I know that it's probably fairly obvious when we have a shorter season than normal, but it just seems like every single day. I'll be fair, I didn't know what to do last night, Tracy, with no WNBL games on. I was surprised that there was none on, but there does seem to be every single night a mouth-watering clash. And to be fair, we start with tomorrow. The Boomers and the Fire tomorrow afternoon is going to be huge, and then into that grand final rematch. So the best thing about basketball fans and sport fans in this country right now is that the best basketball in the world is getting played in our backyard. So every single afternoon or night, there's another mouth-watering clash.
And how good is that for the WNBL? You know, we've got a 41 season history, and as we were talking about before, we're seeing the second generation of players coming through. It's just a testament to the standard and the level of competition that we've been able to maintain. And for this to be showcased nearly every night of the week for everybody, it's just amazing. And, you know, it's been a big collaboration by a lot of people to make this happen, and in very difficult circumstances, I might add. So congratulations to everybody involved, and it's just wonderful to be able to watch all these brilliant female basketball athletes.
Is there a little bit of envy, Trace, like, you know, your situation and, of course, championships? And to be fair, it didn't stop the performance of you or your team being able to be as dominant as you were. But you imagine, probably went a longer season than the 6-weeker, but in the hub, every single game televised. It's a huge thing for not just women's sport in this country, but sport, because you turn on, be it Foxtel, ABC, KO, and there is elite basketball ready for you to watch regardless of where you are in the country.
Oh, look, there's massive envy. And I was just speaking to Laurie Chiswick before, after the last game, and I just said to her, wouldn't you love to be coaching? I'd love to be playing in this hub situation. It'd just be magnificent. As we said, basketball heaven, playing every day, minimal training, you know, it'd just be fantastic. And to be honest, that's what all players want to do. They just want to play.
Mm-hmm. They play, and then they
play.
ice bath,
ice bath,
and then they in a nice pool, and they got beautiful weather, and then they go play again. And we do, and as you touched on, this has taken not just the season, but also the complications thrown in with the Adelaide Lightning situation the last 3 or 4 days. It is a remarkable effort by so many people to, one, get this to where it is now, and also to move so seamlessly in the last couple of days for the best and fairest way going forward for the season.
Yeah, and some big decisions have had to be made within sort of 24 hours, and that's not an easy thing to do, particularly when you've got to involve so many people. There's so many stakeholders that need to be involved in these decisions. So it's been a fantastic last 24 hours, and beautifully handled by the WNBL and Basketball Australia and the Queensland government.
Yes, who have done a wonderful job in all sport in 2020 when the country's been in some need of some help. 11 points for Mansfield, 8 for Rochi. That is the extremely creatively named halftime show. It is a 7-point lead for the Flames. Second half, rather, only moments away.
Yeah, and you would think that the Caps would come out maybe with their normal starting five. Perhaps I give Griffin a few more minutes this half, try and peg back this lead and maybe stamp a bit of authority on this game and set the tone.
39-32. If you are just joining us, it was a 10-point win for the Fire over the Braves, a 46-point win, the Flyers over the Lynx. The Lynx led by 10 points in the first quarter. And tonight it was a 12-point lead at quarter time for the Flames. It got whittled down to 2, but the last 5 points did belong to the Flames, and that's where it ends us after 20 minutes, 39-32, as we get ready to start the third quarter.
And you would have to expect a team like Canberra to come back and you know, after being down by 10 points in that first quarter, they're always going to come back at you. They're just such a great side.
I think I might have said Bendigo Braves rather than the Spirit, yeah. Tracy, but apologies to all the great pass. Great pass. Almost a similar play to what they started the game with. We're able to get it back door to Burton from Scherf on that great feeder position.
And it's great to see Burton getting amongst the scorers as well. I think we'd like to see more of that from her. She's a very experienced player, former Opal.
Here's Smart into the starting lineup for the second half. As is Tapia. That's off the iron though. Here's Mansfield. A little herky-jerky off the dribble. Gets herself a little separation. Step back on Rochi's able to knock it down. First 4 points belong to the Flames and the lead is back to 11. And that is a bad pass by Rochi. Straight to the passing lane of Scherf. The lead is 13.
And that's another one of those turnovers that we spoke about by the Caps. They need to adjust that and pretty quickly.
Turnovers galore. Now 12 turnovers for the Caps, and this lead is 13 in a blink of an eye. The last 11 points all belong to the Flames. Here's Froling on Burton. Uses the little hook, got away with it. Didn't matter in the end. Tolo with the offensive board. Just wanted it more. Scherf with a couple of fouls. Had to let it go straight back up. And Tolo opens the scoring for the Caps in his third quarter.
That was great work by Froling then to find her way to the hoop. She couldn't quite make it drop, but then Tolo cleaned up, got the 2 points.
Mansfield. Rochi goes underneath the screen. Normally dangerous. This time it wasn't. Maley was right there again, but she just had the foot out of bounds.
Maley will probably be right there in most of those competitions.
Very true. Rochi, great pass to Froling, whose roll was exquisite. Catches it in rhythm. She's up to 9. 4 straight points for the Caps.
And another great play there, led by Rochi, finding the open man inside.
Tapia with 4 assists, as we see there. And the intensity on defense. That's going to be on Scherf. Tapia.
All the way to the hoop.
Way too easy. Swagmo Belger was late, gets a slap on the wrist. It counts on the left. And they were playing denial D there, Tracy, but they didn't have that safety. And Tapia was able to catch it on the run as we look back on it here. And it was almost, to be fair, unimpeded all the way to the hoop.
Yep, easily broke that pressing defence. Not a lot of help there.
And Tolo able to use her body brilliantly to make sure that Scherf wasn't able to come over and lend a defensive hand as Tapia's able to make the 3-point play. This has been a really nice turnaround here by the Caps. 7 straight points in just under a minute of basketball to get that lead back to 6.
Yeah, they're looking a lot more aggressive on D, the Caps.
Maley. Talk us through this, Trace.
Well, that was just a fantastic hard cut and a good look there inside. The D was probably had good position, but Maley was quick enough to get it up before the contact was made.
Scherf is an exceptional passer, in particular from that feeder position at the 3-point line.
She is, and she's having another outstanding game tonight.
12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists for Lauren Scherf. Maley makes the first. Second one just as good. They've shot particularly well from the foul line. We've touched on this. They're now 13 of 14.
Yeah, well, as we know, everyone knows foul shots win games, so that's a good percentage.
Froling. Here's Rochi. Had a good first half. This time she steps back off the Tolo screen. Can't hit it. Long rebound. Almost comes back to her. Scrum. Fighting. Fighting. Rowe at the bottom of the pack.
And the whole Sydney Flames outfit at the moment is showing some desperation. Scherf and Rowe on the floor there. As you say, Maley's desperation is contagious. Chemist Warehouse sweat wipers in Cairns. Doing a good job, and then, well, they might not have been doing that good of a job because the players, Tolo's like, give me this. They won't show up on the stat sheet, Tracy, but that's a good moment. Well, there'd be a lot of sweat up there. It's pretty hot up in Cairns. They've got a big job, those floor wipers.
Rolling. Griffin, turn, face, can't nail it. Burton with the rebound. Rolling, Scherf, pick and pop. Off. Griffin with her 8th board. Now they want to push. Through Rochi. Little semi-transition. Great pass. Rolling wasn't quite ready for it. I reckon Mansfield might have been forced into a travel by great D by Britt Smart. Referees agree, and it'll be a turnover. Rolling handoff, Tolo screen, she rolls, but Scherf's hand in the way. Now it's Mansfield. Needs a couple of more troops. Nice D by the Cats to be able to break up a little semi-fast break. So it'll be the Flames through Mansfield. Into the key, just drops it off to Scherf. He set the original screen. Probably should have made it.
Yep, should have made that. But nevertheless, they've got to the line.
This is a great pass.
As imposing as Tolo is there, Scherf probably could have absorbed that contact and gone up a little stronger with the right hand.
First is good. Lauren Scherf building a very nice night again. 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. And continues the great shooting from the charity stripe tonight for the Flames. Now 15 of 16.
Yeah, I'm loving Lauren Scherf's game tonight and a couple of nights ago. She's been consistent and she's got a lot of confidence.
Rochi, Smart, hit one from here in the first half. Tolo and Maley. It's going to stay with the Caps off the fingertips of Bailey, said the referee.
I think Maley tried to convince him otherwise, but I don't think he was having any of it.
Smart looking, great pass into Tolo. A little bit of contact, referee said no. Either way, it's 2 points. She's up to 9, the lead is 8.
And that's what Tolo does so well when she gets down in the low block there. She's able to take the contact and finish off strongly.
Scherf, top of the key, looking. Maley. Froling gets a hand in and forces the turnover. Rochi is just going to be able to push. This is what she likes to do. Lobs it up to Tolo, who's got Burton. Beat for a split second on the seal. Now she's just going to dribble back, left hand, did enough. Froling keeps it alive for a split second. And you talk about contagious energy. Froling at one end, Maley at the other. There they collide, and this time it's Maley who wins the ball for her team.
Yeah, Froling and Maley are both amazing competitors, and when those two are up against each other, it's always going to be fireworks.
Here is Maley. Rowe tried to find Scherf. Griffin was great, keeps it in to Smart. Oh, that's a broken play. Now they're going to push on a stutter step. Oh, the beautiful little shuffle from Madison Rochi. She's able to get the bump. Kisses it off the window. Potential three-point play. Griffin starts it. Smart runs it down, and Rochi did the rest, taking it right at Mansfield. And Burton, who was late with the help, in the end, a potential three-point play.
Look at this beautiful little shimmy there by Rochi over 2 players down.
Her great
And one.
season continues. She's in a double figure. She's got 10. Going to try and make it 11. And get this lead to 5. Five-point lead. Rochi has 11. Negasoglu back into the game. He's Scherf, top of the key, looking. Mansfield, shot clock's at 9. Wants to use the Scherf screen. In there and finds Bogue for 3. It's no good. Froling with the rebound. She's got 9 and they want to push. Semi-transition the Caps. Flames are up to it defensively. Griffith just lobs it inside to
Great.
Froling. That was an outstanding pass. And an excellent finish.
Fantastic pass, and Froling's athleticism there was able to grab it in the air and lay it in.
Once Mansfield had her back to the ball and made it very hard to be able to know where it's coming from, and it was a perfect lob from a very nice passer. And this lead is back to 3. It got out to 11 early doors in the third quarter, but it's now back to 3. And this is anyone's game, and you feel the intensity's gone up a couple of notches in the last minute or 2.
Yeah, I think the Capitals have actually been the ones that have forced the Flames out of their offensive sets the last couple of times down. They haven't had the right space. So we couldn't hear any of that, but my guess would be that Katrina Hibbert would be telling her girls to be a little bit more patient at the offensive end, get through some offensive sets, find the open man and get your spacing right. They haven't had their spacing right the last couple of times down the floor.
3-point lead for the Flames, 49-46. Jade Melbourne back into the action. Brittany Smart takes a seat. Swagmeyer Belgium, wanted to work on Froling. Now she's going to get to Scherf. She fronts up on Tolo, goes baseline. Oh, uses the fake brilliantly. Body positioning was outstanding. Scherf's up to 16. Nothing better out of a timeout than a play like that.
Yeah, and Lauren Scherf's really standing up tonight. She's taking the game on.
Rochi. Off the Tolo screen, top of the key. Foot might have been on the line. Didn't quite drag it back enough. That'll be a 2.
Alison Swagmeyer is going to be quiet this quarter, you would have to say. She hasn't had as much of an influence.
Negasoglu right at Rochi. That's off the leg of Negasoglu. Great hands by Rochi.
Really quick hands.
What a battle. 51-48. Rochi gets deep into the key. Liza Vitolo straight to Griffith. Straight on 3. Can't tie it. Froling wanted it more than anyone. No one boxed her out. She's got 10 boards, 7 points now.
Beautiful boards there by Froling. Read it well. Put it back for the easy 2.
Make that 13. Sorry for Froling. That's back to a 1-point game. Oh, what a shot. Negasoglu. We know how well she can shoot it. Catch and shoot, off the dribble, long 2. She's got 4. This is fun to watch wherever you might be right around Australia. Hope you're enjoying this one. There's almost no chance you can't be. Griffin uses the body control to evade the defender. She's up to 7 and back again to a 1-point game.
She imposed herself on that last play, made some space and knocked it. That was a difficult shot too.
Mansfield steps back on Melbourne. Foul line, can't finish it. Griffin with the rebound. Now she's going to push. Looking. What a pass. Tolo didn't quite get there because of the Lauren Mansfield hand. Scrappy, bodies on the floor everywhere. What does it lead to? A Jade Melbourne steal, then a loss, but it will stay with the Caps.
It was a fairly scrappy period of play there. A couple of players tripping over each other. Floor wipers out again.
Floor wipers getting paid overtime, do you think, in this part of the world, Trace? It is fairly humid up there, so there's a lot of sweat around.
There is a lot of sweat around. I doubt whether they'd be getting paid overtime, though.
I also agree. Doing a great job at the Chemist Warehouse floor wipers. And watching this game from the best seat in the house, right on courtside as well. What a game it is. It's the Flames by a point. That extended pressure again by Sydney, but the Caps are able to think their way through it. But now only 10 seconds on the clock. Great pass by Rochi. Griffin on the dive. Again, bodies on the floor. Shot clock though. Rochi's going to have to let it fly. Hits the rim. Froling couldn't get the rebound though because Maley was there. Negasoglu wants to take it right at Melbourne. Goes into the double team. Kicks it out to Bogue for three. Can't finish it. Now it's Rochi. She loves the push. This time no exception.
Decided to hold it up and run a play there, but Melbourne takes it straight to the hoop.
Little bump. And I think that when Jade Melbourne was forced out of court, the referee had no other avenue but to call the foul. I think they might have just left that had she have retained control and stayed within the court.
I think Sydney have done a pretty good job of containing Melbourne tonight. She hasn't been as influential.
Rochi couldn't finish it. Sorry, Trace.
I'm just saying that the Caps have done the Flames have done a pretty good job of containing Jade Melbourne tonight. She hasn't exerted a normal influence on the game.
Rochi to the line to try and put the Caps in front. 13 points, 3 rebounds on the night so far. Having an outstanding start as they give a little commentator curse. Second one's good.
And she's up to 14 points now.
Negasoglu. Mansfield right at Rochi. Step back. We've seen this battle all night and it's been fun to watch. Shot clock at 6 and at 5. Burton's going to have to let it fly from just inside the three-point line. Rochi with the rebound.
And that was the right shot to take from Burton. Probably just a little bit too much on there.
Griffin, aggressive. What a pass to Roof. And for the first time in a long time, the Caps are in front as we near three-quarter time. And bad turnover, Burton, turnover, and now an opportunity to extend.
Griffin has certainly exerted her influence on this game in this third quarter.
Rochi. Roof, top of the key. Back to Rochi. Shot clock at 2. It's at 1. Great D by Bogue. Gets back to Griffin's hand somehow. And she's able to make it work. She's up to 9. The lead is 4. Last play. Negasoglu, little crossover straight to the bucket. Couldn't finish it. Griffin wanted it more. And that will end what has been a roller coaster of emotions in the third quarter. And it ends after the Flames had a double-digit lead, with the Caps leading by 4, 57-53. Tracy Browning, what a quarter, and what a quarter this sets up to come.
Yeah, look, yeah, I think there might have been a little bit of a half-court collision there between Bogue and I'm not sure who. Oh, it was Melbourne. Just want to make sure they're both okay. But look, the Caps had a fantastic quarter that quarter. Playing aggressive D. You see Katrina Hibbert having a chat to the referee. But yeah, look, that third quarter is certainly going to set up an exciting last quarter. We're going to see some more fireworks, some more physicality from both teams.
How do you reckon that conversation went? Probably just gets a little bit of frustration out.
Yep.
Katrina Hibbert more than anything else.
Yeah, and that was a great quarter there from Griffin, Froling and Rochi. Like Griffin came in, and I think I might have touched on it at half time that we probably see a few more minutes there from Griffin, and she came in and got the job done, scored a few baskets, and Froling got on the offensive boards, really got after it. Rochi getting her feet in the paint, getting her teammates open, and also nailing a couple of big shots. So that's a great quarter from Canberra.
In particular, when you fall down by double figures, if you're Rochi, Froling and Griffin, all championship players, of course, from last season, so their ability to be able to not panic and to be able to stand up, and of course the momentum was fully with the Flames, who had ended the second quarter by scoring the last 5 points and then doing the similar thing to start the third quarter. So rather than panic, they stood up and took control of the ball in their own different ways. And with Froling, it was probably the energy and the offensive rebound. With Rochi, it's her ability to be able to lead that fast and semi-transition game, which she loves. And well, Kelsey Griffin's aggressiveness is something that we're used to, but when she turns it on like that, it does give everyone around her so much more confidence. So their ability, because of what they've done and who they are, to be able to not panic is a big reason why they're in front of this basketball game.
Yeah, and that's a sign of experience, that is, you know, and you're right, don't panic, just chip away at this lead, bring the aggression, as we saw with both Froling and Kelsey Griffin in that quarter, and Kelsey Griffin makes everybody around her stand taller, as we just saw there, so this is going to set up a really, really good last quarter.
We'll keep an eye on Jade Melbourne as well. Did catch a slight little glimpse with a towel on her lip, I think, so of course the head clash right there, towards that end of the on the screen of the quarter. So keep an eye on that.
It did look a little bit nasty, and I'm not sure whether that was what the conversation between Katrina Hibbert and the referee was about at three-quarter time. I'm not sure what went on there, but I'm sure it was unintentional.
It was. Just a good solid screen and accidental headbutt. So we'll check it out. All right, fourth quarter begins. Mansfield has 13 so far. Great D by Roof, who's had a good start to the year as well. Turned her ankle in that opening game when she scored 6 straight points against the Lightning. And
yeah, that would have definitely been a little bit of a scare for the Caps in that first game, considering the injuries they already had. But she's come back, to her credit, and she's right to go.
Mansfield, here's Burton, tried to lob it inside. When I say try, it worked successfully. Scherf just missed the little layup.
Probably should have made that, you could say.
Griffin, top of the key, guarded by Burton. Wants to use that aggressiveness we spoke about. This time she couldn't make it work. Maley again, as she always and so often is, on the glass. She's got 8 on the night.
Maley doesn't mind taking it end to end either.
Scherf, great pass inside Burton. Oh, missed even an easier one than Scherf missed the last possession. They've been able to get the rebound. Mansfield, Burton, Scherf. Shot clock's at 5. They've got to get to work here. Scherf looking, has to let it fly, and then absolutely 100% was a plan by Nat Burton to miss the layup to give him an extra point. Nothing but bottom of the net, it's back to a point.
Don't think that would have been the play Katrina
I don't
called for. But yeah, missed 2 easy layups and then hit that really tough 3.
Rochi to reply, and she does.
Was that off the glass?
It was. 17 for Rochi.
Wow, what a game she's had.
Here is Scherf, guarded by Roof, top of the key. Roof gets a hand in, is able to spring it clear. Maley went diving for it, but she got a hand on it when her foot might have been out of court. And it's going to be another turnover.
Scherf's probably trying to be a point guard there. Probably not a high percentage move for her. So it's a 4-point ball game, Cam.
What a wonderful day it has been. What a wonderful game. Tolo, guarded by Scherf. Make it 6, bottom of the net for Tolo. And it's a 6-point lead, and this is a big moment, big opportunity here for the Cats, but a big moment for the Flames.
And we've seen Tolo time and time again make those shots when in the clutch moments when it's crucial, as we see Maylee draw the D and get herself to the line.
Little bump. Let's have a look at this. The aggressiveness.
Which she deemed to be in the act of shooting.
Not sure, Tracy, talk us through that one, because I don't actually think Ruth did a great deal.
She's going to the
wrong.
line. She was a little off balance when she took it, but it was a shot.
Their great night at the foul line continues the Flames as well. 15 of 16, now 16 of 17. 10 points for Annalee Maylee. 8 rebounds. Nails both. She's got 11. That stems a little bit of the bleeding. It's back to 4 in the full court press as Rochi throws it away. Froling couldn't get it, and the Flames get another opportunity here.
Now that would have been in Katrina Hibbert's playbook. That pressure D paid off.
And they've junked it up well on defence tonight, the Flames, at different times to take the Caps out of their rhythm. Perfect example of it there is Bogue at the top. Mansfield. Got to continue to be aggressive. Ruth stood off for a split second.
Bit of a step back, gave herself plenty of room there, Mansfield, just couldn't make it drop.
Tolo, top of the key, guarded by Scherf. Both women have had great nights. So is this wonderful guard, Rochi. Loses it that time. Again, Bogue. This time it's Ruth. I think it might have been another incidental head clash. There are bodies flying everywhere as Mansfield, for a split second, takes it into the key, looks to the referee, and this is why we should have jump balls.
That's great hustle there by both teams.
Oh, again.
Another head clash. She's in the thick of it, Bogue.
She is.
And this is all games are important, obviously, in such a short season. But in terms of getting the wins, banking the wins early when you should, this is a huge game for the Caps. Well, it's a huge game for both teams.
Rochi takes a seat, Tapia comes on. Again, that junk up full court presser. Caused a little bit of concern for a split second, but the Caps this time able to handle it. Ruth, top of the key. Froling goes back door, couldn't get it to her. Tolo, as the shot clock gets down to 8, Maylee.
And good pressure D again by the Flames.
Mansfield, step back, straight on 3. That's off the iron. Maylee kept it alive for a split second, but it wasn't enough, and Britt Smart's able to corral it. It's a payer. Ruth in there for a long time, couldn't make it work. Froling wanted it more. Ruth again. And Mansfield was able to snag around the back and knock it out of court.
And what great second effort there from Ruth and Froling. Both of them getting on the offensive glass. Couldn't quite capitalise on it, but fantastic second effort.
What a night it has been. What a game. And a couple of missed opportunities for both teams in the last couple of minutes, Tracy, from shots they probably should have made.
Yeah, and that's the pressure coming from both teams. Pressure D, close game. But yeah, you're right, look, there's too many easy shots under the bucket missed.
4-point lead, 6:02 to go. Fourth quarter, 3-1 Caps trying to win their 4th of the season and their 4th in a row. Well, the Flames trying to win their 2nd. Britt Smart got a good look. Maylee says, I'll snatch it and go the other way. She has 9 boards on the night to go the 11 points.
She's doing a hell of a job on the boards.
Mansfield uses the Scherf screen, couldn't get her on the pick and roll. Now it's Bogue, same idea. There's Maylee back door, couldn't finish it. Froling with the great defence.
It was a good look, great cut there, great baseline cut by Maylee, just couldn't get that shot away.
Froling offensively, being aggressive, pulls it back out. Now it's Ruth. Oh, great pass to Tolo, straight down the middle of the key and opened up. And there was a double, almost a triple team on Ruth, and she was able to use her vision and her awareness to find Tolo to get her 13th point as we have a look at it, Tracy Browning.
Yeah, And a great, hard, tough cut down the middle of the key by Tola. Great vision there by Roof. Easy two. That's great offence.
And if you're going to show in a triple team, you have to show harder than that to make sure that they can't make what, in the end, was a relatively easy pass.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they overcommitted on that triple team, leaving Tolo wide open.
6-point lead for the Cavs. Tolo's got 13 points on the night. She's had a great night. Froling's got 13 as well. Let's have a listen.
So be physical. I'd like to see somebody step up and set a really hard screen, and I'd like to see you roll hard. Sorry. We've got to roll hard, we've got to pop. Look at your throwbacks, throw-ins. We're going to go with double gets. Double gets. Let's get it on your left hand. All right, so let's get it with your left hand. Side of the floor. So you're coming on the left, double gets. You're the second screener, you're the first. You pop. Yeah, you pop. She rolls. Look at your throwback, throw in. Otherwise, you like to play on the other side.
And you can just see the intensity there from Katrina Hibbert. You can see how much this game means to her. She can smell a win. She knows they're capable of stealing this win. And she's just asking for some physicality. She's asking people to cut hard, roll hard, and she's asking for people to step up and be counted.
Jade Melbourne with a little head bandage there. And a new jersey as well, new singlet, number. After the head clash incidental right before three-quarter time. She comes back on. The lead is 6. Here's Scherf and Griffin. Now Mansfield. Got Tolo in the mismatch. What will she do? Does she use it? She does. Goes right around it with the right hand. Can't finish it with the little finger roll. And Tapia with the rebound.
I'd like to see Schwagmeyer-Belger get a little bit more involved in this last 5 minutes on the offensive end. She's been a little bit quiet. They haven't actually gone to or run plays for or looked for it as well either.
Only 1 of 7 on the night. Chemist Warehouse floor wipers continue to do the great job that they do. 6-point lead. The Caps. Burton in, Bogue out. So back to that starting 5 to try and finish it for the Flames, who have been ahead for a lot of the night. Here's Tapia. Right at Schwagmeyer-Belger. Couldn't finish it, rolling over the top. Only one person was going to stop her getting it, and it was Annalee Maley, who now has a double-double with her 10th board.
That was great D there by Schwagmeyer-Belger. Forced the ugly shot and allowed Maley to grab that board.
Mansfield wants a screen from Scherf, goes away from it in the end. Great D by Jade Melbourne. Shot clock's at 5, going to have to get busy. It's at 2, it's at 1. It counts! Took all of the 24 seconds. In fact, I think about 23.7. It didn't look pretty. They didn't know what they were really doing. But talk us through this, Tracy, because it counts.
What a shot by Mansfield. Somehow found her way through the gap between those two defensive players there. Somehow got through and managed to finish off. And that was a pretty difficult shot. Excellent play.
4 fouls for Melbourne.
This game is not over.
It is most certainly not. Don't go to bed wherever you might be around Australia. 15, 16 points for Lauren Mansfield. And it is now back to a 3-point game.
And the other night we saw Sydney come back from a probably 10, 12-point deficit in the last quarter to bring it back to 2. So they've done it before, they can do it again.
Pressure up the floor again from Sydney. We've seen this a lot in this quarter. This time Canberra can handle it. Tolo just drops it down to Froling, but Schwagmeyer-Belger again, great defense, was up to the task. Now she'll push at it right at Froling. Might have got away with an extra little step. I agree with the Canberra bench who thought likewise, but Referee's not into it. Mansfield for 3. That was short. That might have come off the hand of Maley. And the Caps come up with it.
There was great offensive boards there by Burton and allowed Mansfield to get that extra shot, but she just couldn't quite make it drop. The intensity on the faces of the coaches at the moment, Cam.
And force another
just feel
turnover. That intensity you speak of on the Caps bench, it'll just go up a notch here because they've been, again, unable to handle that full court pressure. Here's Mansfield. Burton doesn't want the 3. Mansfield tried to take on Froling, who acknowledges the foul with a little nod to the referee that says, yep, I got her.
Not really much else she could have done on that play.
Sydney have done a really good job tonight to be able to force mismatches. And the bigger player, if not Tolo or Froling, guarding Mansfield, and then makes the right decision. Is Maley. Swagmeyer Belger. Tracy Browning wants to get her a little more involved late. Mansfield again. The shot clock is down. It's down to 2. It's down to 1. That was going to try and be a good look. Nat Burton wasn't quite up.
Wasn't quite ready. Yeah.
When she zigged.
Yeah.
And it's a turnover.
It was the right idea, just didn't quite come off. Couldn't quite get past Tapia there on the defense either.
Speaking of Tapia, here she is, finds Tolo at the top. Rochi back in to finish this. Uses the Tolo screen, looking. Now their shot clock's down to 6. Great D this time by the Flames. Tapia for 3, no good. Maley's going to run on the long rebound. Doesn't wait for the troops, takes it right at Rochi. No. Steps on a foot, turned the ankle.
I don't know whether she stepped on anyone's foot. I think she just rolled it. Yeah. Unfortunate there for Maley. Hopefully she's okay.
Keep an eye on that as we get to a timeout. 2:51 to go. Fourth quarter, it's the Caps 64, the Flames 61. No timeouts remaining either for both teams, so this will be the last time they are able to get the close instructions, or at least timeout instructions.
And Sydney have really upped the intensity here in the last couple of minutes, as they had to do. And I'm sure Katrina Hibbert would be saying to them, we could get this win, we could get this game, girls.
Girls, we're in this, all right? Yeah. We're in this. It's a 3-point game. I've only got one time out though, so you guys got to get yourself formatted. You've got to stop pulling out your dribble. All right, turn a corner. You're not going to get a foul. We worked on it in training. You're coming around too far. You see that? Attack that way. Attack that way. All right, next possession. Let's go pistol pass curl. All right, so let's get Maley. So dribble handoff. Oh, dribble handoff. Pop it. Backdoor cut. Nothing there. You can go here or reverse. 3 side action. At the ring. We're almost the bonus. We've got to get to the bonus. Get ourselves looking. We might have to start starting break your own defense. We are.
Katrina Hibbert telling her team there, we're still in this game. It's a 3-point ball game. We've got to run the plays, run them to perfection. Have a red hot crack this last 3 minutes.
Rochi gets it over the timeline. Tolo, top of the key. Here's Tapia. Guarded by Swagmeyer Belger. Griffin was able to get rid of Nat Burton. As Maley just then knocks over Griffin. I'm going to say incidental. I didn't see, it was under the corner of my eye. So either way.
Yeah, I'm sure it was incidental.
5-point lead. Swagmeyer Belger called upon by Tracy Brown to get more aggressive. Couldn't quite finish it.
And that's what we need to see. That's what Sydney need from her in this last couple of minutes. They need some aggressive drives to the hoop and try and get to the foul line.
Tolo, so much of the play for the Caps in the second half has come through that high post. Tolo feeder position. Now it's Rochi. Right at Mansfield. Takes it into the key. Lobs it up. No good. Griffin over the top. Couldn't get it. Mansfield was able to run it down. Maley on the floor again.
Both Maley and Mansfield were a part of that last contest. Maley's in everything. That ankle seems to be okay.
Swagmai Belger for 3. That's no good. Nothing but fresh air, and Rochi was able to get the uncontested rebound, and now the Caps to try and extend a 5-point lead into the last 90 seconds. Froling. Into the hands of Madison. Rochi. Now Griffin over Maley. No good. Scherf with the rebound. That's her 5th to go along with 19 points.
Sydney did a good job on that last defensive play. Pushed them out of their offense a little bit and ended up taking a not a high percentage shot on
Scherf, great pass. Maley, what a pass from Scherf. We spoke about her passing abilities earlier. This one was off the dribble and out right on the number. Maley's up to 13. Scherf has 5 assists. The lead is 3. Tapaya couldn't finish it. Scherf with the rebound. The foul will be on Tolo on the rebound. We have a 1-possession game inside the last minute.
Great scrapping effort by both sides here.
I want to point out that the graphic that said 0 timeouts to both teams is probably wrong that I went with, considering we are now in another timeout.
I did hear Katrina Hibbert say that last timeout she had 1 left.
48.8, let's have a listen.
Okay, so Maley's inbounding. Remember, so Mansfield, you're going to start here. Actually start.
Can't listen to the audio. Of course, the rules were inside the 2 minutes.
Oh, yes.
So, can you lip read, Tracy? I definitely
I'll do my best.
48.8. They trail by 3 points. The Sydney Uni Flames have the ball, so a bucket needed.
So they're obviously going to run a set play here. Not sure exactly what that is. But they need to make the most of this possession. This is a huge possession. They need to get a good score here.
Plenty of time as well. Too often in basketball, we see teams in this position force up a shot, sometimes a 3, and there's so much time to go, 48.8. So, as we know, Maley going to inbound. So, run this inbound play to be able to give yourself plenty of time. You know you're going to get another look at it. No need to rush or take a tough 3, but if you can get the wide open look.
Get the wide open 2, take it.
As Mansfield, that's the 100% last thing in the world you want, and that is why coaches go great.
A foul. Yeah, that would have been the last thing they wanted.
Great help defense by Kelsey Griffin.
And very ambitious trying to pass that over the long arms of Tolo there. Just the wrong decision.
No need to foul yet. As they do, but they do have a couple to give here. It's fair to say that there's plenty of timeouts remaining when I said there was no timeouts remaining a couple of minutes ago.
The old graphics.
As I'll talk it over again. What do you do in this situation, Tracy? So they've got some fouls to give, of course, so I'm not suggesting they should be sending the Caps to the line yet with so much time left, but do you build up the fouls here in case you needed to send them to the foul line in 30 seconds or so time?
Yeah, I'd keep a foul or 2 up my sleeve. I think there's, as you say, there's still enough time left to be aggressive without giving away fouls. 37, that's 2 possessions. A lot can happen.
Cairns Pop-Up Arena. 3rd game of the Chemist Warehouse triple header today. Townsville Fire won the first game by 10. 46 for the Flyers, and of course, a great game right now. Possession, 1 possession game with 37.8 seconds to go.
The intensity on both coaches, like I said before, it's crazy, isn't it? Who'd want to be a coach in this situation? But it's been a great game of basketball, a great day of basketball. Need to get a steal here.
They get it into Rochi. Going to foul. Fouls to give for Sydney, so no bonus yet for the Caps. I would suggest they're going to get it to 4 fouls and then play out the possession. Because I don't think they'll be... It's a double team. Mansfield comes over. There it is.
Yep, there it is.
That'll be the 4th to pay it. Let's Maley know that I've got the ball. It's a 4th foul for Maley as well. So now you've got to be smart about what happens next if you're going to try and send him to the bonus. This will be the possession they play out. There'll be a 6-second differential. Swagmeyer Belgium gets a hand in the passing lane.
If they can manage to get a quick steal here, down the other end.
.2, 3-point lead for the Caps. I'm not 100% certain that there's 0-0 timeouts remaining to just sit there. Okay, we are getting told from the snag pit that this is the last time out. 3-point lead. What would the Caps coaching staff be relaying to their players right now, Trace?
Well, I think Paul Goris would be saying just look after it, get the ball on quickly, hit the open man, try and run away from the foulers. But more than anything, just keep possession and look after it.
What a night it has been. It was a 12-point lead at quarter time for the Flames. Then it was 7 at half time. They were able to build it back up to double digits before the Caps ended the 3rd quarter in the best possible way and took a 4-point lead. And since then, we've had a scrappy last quarter, only 10 points to 9.
Scrappy, physical, sent a lot of body clashes, a lot of bodies on the floor.
Chupay looked. Now it's Rochi. Swagmeyer Belger guarding her. There's a double team. Shot clock's down to 6. Now it's down to 5. Griffin's going to have to get busy. A little bit of space she creates herself. Who gets it? Who wants it? Swagmeyer Belger gets it. And they're going to have to get to work quickly. 12, 11. Griffin just walks straight in and takes it out of Swagmeyer Belger's hands. Now they're going to have to foul. They can't get a hand on him. Foley just leaks out for an easy layup. That'll be the game. Talk us through this, Tracy.
Well, it was the right move by Schwagmeyer. Just Kelsey Griffin was just too quick there with her hands in. Quick outlet pass to Froling, who was already down the other end.
She has 15 points, 11 rebounds on the night, a double-double, and it will seal it now. Is Mansfield. This has been a great contest. Doesn't get the shot off. Swagmeyer Belger after the siren, after the buzzer, but in the end, the Caps go to 4-1 in what was an entertaining affair at the Cairns Pop-Up Arena, but in the end, it's the Caps, the reigning 2-time champions, getting the job done. 68-63. 19 points for Lauren Cherf in a losing effort, but Rochi, 17 points. Froling had 15. Tolo had 13. That was a great game.
Yeah, that was an excellent contest by two teams that just went at it each other all night. And I think you'd have to say that Sydney would be a little disappointed in that result. They had their chances to win. They had a good lead early on, but you know, they missed quite a few easy shots under the bucket, and be a little bit disappointed. However, there were patches in that game where they just played so well, so aggressive, took the ball to the rack, and pushed Canberra out of their offence for a time there in that third quarter. So, look, they had some really great patches, but just couldn't put it all together for the 4 quarters.
And we spoke about their ability, talking Sydney, to be able to junk it up defensively and be able to take the Caps out of what they have been able to run so particularly well for, well, 2 and a little bit seasons now, and they were able to do it. But the Caps, and we spoke about in our third quarter, Froling, Griffin, Rochi, names that we've continued to talk about when this team's been winning championships. They were able to stand up, take a deep breath and take control of the game, and probably in the end, the experience on one side, and Mansfield and Scherf were particularly good for the Flames as well, but that's probably the difference. And, you know, it's such small margin for error in this competition, and that was probably the difference with the Caps with the 5-point win.
Yeah, totally. And as you say, you know, Rochi, Froling and Griffin particularly, you know, Griffin really stamped her mark on that game in that third quarter. She got on the board, she made her way to the basket, she made space for herself. Look, and that's just experienced players and championship players, and they know what it takes, and they were prepared to just, like you say, they didn't panic, they didn't rush it, they didn't try and score, you know, 10 or 15 points in a couple of minutes. They chipped away and they got the result in the end.
We might check out the match stats as well to see the story that it does tell, because it was extremely tight all night, and that was reflected on the scoreboard, of course, at the end. Not as pure scoring night or shooting night as it was a little earlier in the day, but when you look at that, foul shots 18 of 19 for Sydney, gave themselves plenty of opportunity. The boards are the same. Team, they both turned it over. We spoke about scrappiness at different times. They went through periods where they were turning the ball over, but geez, there wasn't much separating when you look at the match stats there, and that's probably reflective on the scoreboard.
Yeah, well, 3 from 12 from the three-point line from Sydney, you know, which is uncharacteristic of them, particularly after the other night when Schwagmeyer-Belger, she had a huge night from the three-point line, so that's probably something that we're a little bit disappointed in. But yeah, all the other stats are pretty even.
43% from the field, 29, they had 8 more field goals. But as I said earlier, they were 11 from 12 in the first quarter from the foul line, the Flames, but they were the aggressor early on. They were able to get to the foul line and make them work. And then from then, it was such a tight tussle. And really, the Caps, which if you're going to win games, win enough games to make the playoffs and win a championship, you're going to have to get some of these tight ones. And the Caps and their experience really has told, in the end, probably the difference.
Oh, exactly right. And like we said, they're still finding their way. They're still managing some of their players. They're still finding the right rotation. So to bank a win like this early in the season, it augurs well for them at the pointy end.
It was scrappy, but we spoke about that third quarter when it was a double-digit lead for the Sydney Uni Flames. And one of the women we did speak about who had a huge one was Keely Froling, 15 points, 10 rebounds, and she joins us now. Congratulations. It was a scrappy kind of night at different points.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we definitely didn't start how we wanted to, but we got a bit of a rocket at half-time and knew we had to bring ourselves back into it. Just
on that, what obviously you talk about the rocket, but was that energy-based? Was it more commitment-based around what wasn't working in the first half compared to really the second half of that third quarter?
Yeah, I think we didn't come out defensively how we want to, and that's what we're known for is our defence. So really we just knew if we could get our defensive stops, then our offence flows from that.
Hi Keely, it's great to see Kelsey Griffin back in the team and playing more minutes and to pay her back from injury as well. How are you going fitting those two back in and are you loving having them back?
Yeah, I think they were both huge for us tonight. Obviously, we missed them in the first couple of games, but they're working their way back in, and I think really showed that tonight that we're really coming together. And it was so hard for our pre-season that we didn't have people in, so we haven't played together. But especially in that second half, we started to roll. And you know, I love playing with Kels, and I've played with her for 3 years, and I've starting to love playing with T as well.
Just on that, we've spoken a fair bit about the fact that, you know, off-season and pre-season was so different. Are you just learning and trying to work it all fit in games, or are you getting any practice call time?
No, we're still training every day. We've had one off day so far, so we're still training every day, and I guess we're really lucky that we do have that core group together from last year. So, you know, we kind of know how it works, and then it's just adding in those few other pieces as well.
What did you do on your off day? Did you actually just relax and see some sights, or did you just sit in the hotel and watch TV?
No, well, some of us stayed at the hotel, but my grandma has a house at the Whitsundays, so I took the team down there, and we went for a swim and did some paddleboarding, and it was really nice.
Oh, well, you are in such a familiar part of the world for you and your family, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. This is home for me. I'm loving the heat, and I'm just loving being back in North Queensland.
Well, it worked tonight. You were brilliant tonight. 15 points, 10 rebounds. A big reason why the Caps are 4-1, even though you've had to have some injury and some time management with some players as well. But The Caps train just keeps on rolling. Congratulations, you were great tonight, and good luck on Monday when you take on the Flyers in that grand final rematch.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, guys.
Keely Froling, she was brilliant tonight, and we spoke about how contagious it is when it comes to energy and effort, and she was a big part of that when that double-digit lead for the Flames got back and it re-emerged in that third quarter.
Yeah, look, Keely Froling is always a part of, always is infectious with her desire and her rebounding ability, and also her second effort. Like, she might miss one or two, but she more often than not gets her own rebound and lays it back in, as we see her there get an easy layup. But yeah, like, her tenacity and her desire is just fantastic.
Chemist Warehouse highlights second half, and this is when the game started to change, and there's Froling again. Griffin just lobs it up, and they were able to go on that little run. I think they had 8 in a row and just changed the game. Scherf was great all night. She had a big night, 19.6 rebounds going right at Tolo, but Rochi, again, they just took control. She had to slid her foot back about half a millimetre more. That would have been a 3. But their ability to be able to get the ball in the right person's hands at different times, as Froling just wanted it more there on the offensive rebound, was a huge reason as to why they're able to win this game.
Yeah, and Rochi's a huge part of that. Like, she's such a smart playmaker. And if she finds herself open, she can knock down that long-range shot, but she's so good at getting her feet in the paint and finding that open man and bringing other players into the game. So she's a really valuable player for them.
And if you look at too, as well, while we talk about these championship superstars coming off the bench, Tapaya, of course, was brilliant again as she gets more into it with this crew. You know, Ruth, smart. The girls were able to come off the bench and be confident. It's a big thing of what we've been talking about. Their ability to be able to come on and not miss a beat and make sure the scoreboard keeps ticking over is a big reason why they are 4-1, even though they're probably not 100% fit and healthy yet, or at least being able to work together in the first week and a half of this season.
Yeah, and again, that's experience coming through. You know, these girls know what it takes to get there, and they know that if they're not playing their best basketball right now, that doesn't really matter. If they can get a win and perhaps it might be a little bit ugly, that's okay. Just keep rolling on, and then by the pointy end of the season, as long as they're playing well at that time of the year, then that's all that matters.
And this is how it all ended. They got the big defensive stop, and Keely Froling was able to lay it in for her 15th point of the night. In the end, it leads to a Caps win. The season go to 4-1, 68-63. All right, I'm not going to even pretend I know what round it is. I think it is still round 2 tomorrow, but we've got a big one. Yep. We've got a big one coming tomorrow. The Melbourne Boomers against the Townsville Fire, who were brilliant tonight, in particular in the second half. Townsville Stadium. The joint's going to be packed, of course, socially distant packed, which is the way we look at 2020, but that's going to be a great game. So wherever you might be, anywhere around Australia, if you've got plans, cancel them, because this is a game you cannot miss.
Absolutely would not miss this for the world. I actually think Townsville, I might be bold here and say Townsville might get up.
I agree.
Yeah.
I love what Townsville
Love the way they're playing.
They were great. Lauren Nicholson's first half, when they were really struggling to get going tonight, was enough to keep them in contact with a really good team, Bendigo Spirit. Tessa Levy was outstanding, and then Shyla Hill's third quarter was big, and you know, Kuso just keeps getting better and better every time. Coming off that ACL, we do get to see her. Steph Reed, someone you would have seen play a lot of basketball as well, was brilliant. So I like this Townsville Fire team as well. If they get on this little bit of run, and they are at home, there is that little bit of home court advantage. I think they're going to have a great game tomorrow. And, of course, the Boomers, we know how stacked they are as well, trying to go a couple of wins better than last year when they went out in the semi-finals. All right. Nice job. It's been a big day. It's been a big day.
But we've absolutely loved it. We've had 3 fantastic games, so looking forward to tomorrow.
If you are like me and you get confused easily, WNBL.basketball, everything is on there, of course, at NBL on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Are you on all your social media realms? Are you on everything?
I'm on it.
There you go. Make sure you get involved and check it all out, because all the information, all the stories, all the latest news is there, as well as the highlights as well. It was in the early game, the Fire by 10. It was the Flyers by 46 over the Lynx, and a wonderful game to finish a triple header in the Chemist Warehouse 2020 WNBL season. It was the Caps 68 over the Flames 63. Tracy, thank you.
Thank you, Cam. Lovely to be here.
To everyone else right around the country, thank you for watching. No doubt you enjoyed it. We will see you tomorrow.